Almost everyone says they want more money, more freedom, and less worry at the end of the month. But few realize that the main enemy of this dream is not low salary, not the country's economy, and much less bad luck. The enemy lives within the routine, hidden in small habits that seem harmless. It's as if life were a great path, and you were walking toward a better future. Except that, without realizing it, you carry stones in your pockets. Some small, others larger. They don't hurt, they don't bother much, but they weigh you down, slow you down, and make the walk seem more difficult than it should be. These stones are those expenses you don't even notice are there. Things you pay for without using, purchases you make without needing, habits that silently drain your money. And that's exactly what this video is going to talk about. The invisible expenses that prevent you from getting rich, even if you have will, effort, and discipline. The good news? Removing these stones from your pocket is simpler than you imagine. And when you do this, the walk becomes lighter, faster, and financial freedom finally begins to become possible. Many people work hard, but never see their money grow. And this almost always has a simple reason. They spend more than they should. It's like trying to fill a bottle without realizing it's open at the bottom. You put money in, but it disappears quickly. When you live on the edge, without leaving anything left over, your money never has a chance to work for you. And without this surplus, it becomes impossible to invest, save for emergencies, or even take advantage of better opportunities in the future. The real turnaround begins when you decide to adjust the pace, look at expenses more calmly, and think, does this really need to come out of my pocket? Living a little below what you earn is not losing quality of life. It's gaining freedom. It's giving yourself space to breathe, save, and grow. And when the surplus begins to appear, even if small, you finally start building wealth. Impulse purchases are those quick decisions, made in the moment, usually without need. It's when you see something, think you need it, but actually we're just carried away by emotion. The problem is that these small decisions, added up, become a big drain through which money escapes. Sometimes it's something cheap, sometimes it's something bigger, but the effect is the same. You spend now and regret it later. And what could become investment, security, or a step toward financial freedom ends up becoming a forgotten item in some corner of the house. The secret here is simple. Give it time before buying. When you breathe, think, and wait, you realize that many things weren't that important after all. Controlling impulses is not stopping buying everything. It's choosing better, and the more conscious choices you make, the more money is left over to build the future you really want. If you're enjoying this type of content and want to receive the next videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This helps a lot and ensures you continue following all the upcoming tips. Many people believe that having a lifestyle full of expensive things means success. But in practice, it's exactly the opposite. An inflated lifestyle can trap you in a cycle that prevents any financial progress. When you try to keep up with a standard that doesn't fit in your pocket, whether expensive clothes, restaurants every day, latest generation electronics, or that car that weighs more on the budget than it actually helps, you end up spending energy and money on things that don't bring return. And here's the most important part. Everything that only loses value over time doesn't build wealth. It's like throwing seeds on hard ground. You even use it, even like it, but you don't harvest anything afterward. The problem isn't liking good things. The problem is when this becomes a daily habit that drains your money and distances you from much more important goals, like investing, saving, creating a safety cushion, or simply breathing calmly at the end of the month. True wealth begins when you look at your life and realize that small adjustments can open enormous doors. Trading excesses for priorities, trading status for freedom, trading expensive habits for smart choices. And over time, you discover that living well is not living by spending a lot. It's living with lightness, purpose, and space to grow. Monthly subscriptions are silent. You do it once, forget, and they keep charging month after month. At first it seems like little. Oh, it's just 10 reais, it's just 20. But when you add it all up, you realize you're losing money without even noticing. It's like leaving several little faucets open inside the house. Alone, they don't seem big, but together, they make the water bill go up, and a lot. These subscriptions include apps you no longer use, services you subscribe to just to try, platforms that seemed important, but today make no difference in your life. The big problem is that they steal space in your budget. Money that could be being saved, invested, or used on something that would really improve your life simply disappears because you didn't realize how much these small charges accumulate. The change is simple and liberating. Do an honest review of everything you pay for. Ask yourself, do I really use this? Does this really help me? Is it worth what it costs? Cutting what has no utility is like cleaning the house. You open space. And when you open space in your financial life, opportunities start to come in. There are expenses that not only take money out of your pocket, but also take your energy, your health, and even your productivity. They're those habits you know don't do you good, but end up repeating because they became part of the routine. It could be that habit of buying fast food every day for lack of planning, overdoing drinks on weekends, spending on things that relieve stress only for a few minutes, or even that purchase to feel better after a difficult day. These habits seem small, but gradually become big obstacles. When you maintain this type of behavior, a double effect happens. You lose money and lose quality of life. And when your health isn't well, your mind also isn't clear enough to make good financial decisions. Changing this doesn't require perfection, it requires awareness. When you start to realize that each choice affects your future, your relationship with money changes naturally. You start to think twice before spending, seek better alternatives, and create habits that strengthen instead of weaken. It's impressive how replacing a negative habit with a positive one, even if small, can put your financial life on another level. Because when you take care of yourself, your money starts to work in your favor too. Non-productive debts are those you contract to buy something that brings no return whatsoever. You pay dearly for something that starts to lose value the exact moment you take it home. And worse, along with the product you also take interest, which grows silently and takes more and more out of your pocket. It's as if you were trying to climb a ladder, but someone was pulling your leg down. You even try to advance, but debt traps you, exhausts you, and doesn't let you build what really matters. Many people take loans for things that will last little, impulse purchases, parties, electronics that soon become outdated, or even to close the month. But the big truth is that debt of this type doesn't solve anything. It only pushes the problem forward and increases the weight on your back. The difference between a financially light life and a tight life is precisely this: knowing how to separate what takes you forward from what only keeps you trapped. Good debt is what generates return. Bad debt is what only takes. And when you start to cut this type of debt, something powerful happens. You feel a freedom you perhaps didn't even remember what it was like. You breathe better, think better, and finally manage to use your money to build, not to fix past mistakes. Bank fees and high interest are like small leaks you barely notice, but that take part of your money every month. There are account fees, maintenance charges, card interest, late payments, annual fees. All of this seems like little individually, but when you add it up, you realize you're handing over part of your salary to the bank without receiving anything in return. It's that type of expense that doesn't improve your life at all. You pay and stay in the same place. The problem is that many people don't even look at these charges. They pass unnoticed in the statement, as if they were inevitable, but they're not. Today, there are much cheaper alternatives, even free, that can help you save every month without effort. And it's important to remember, every reel saved on fees is a reel that can become investment. It's a reel that can earn, grow, and work for you, instead of going away on something that shouldn't even exist. When you start to reduce these costs, you realize it's not just money that comes back to you. It's control, it's awareness, it's the feeling that you're finally taking the reins of your financial life. Housing is one of the biggest expenses of adult life, and precisely because of this, it can be the biggest financial break when it doesn't fit the budget. Many people choose a beautiful, spacious, or well-located place, but forget to look at the impact of this on the pocket. Result: rent or financing consumes almost everything, and little or nothing is left to save. When housing weighs too much, you always live on the edge. Any unexpected event becomes worry. Investing seems impossible. Saving money becomes a distant dream. And the worst is that this happens silently. You get used to it. You think that's just how it is. But actually, you're putting an anchor on your financial progress. Living in a simpler, cheaper place, or just more suitable to what you earn, is not a step backward. It's a strategic step forward. It's opening space in the budget. It's breathing without fear of the end of the month. It's allowing part of the money to finally work for you, not for the landlord or the bank. When you adjust this expense, your life changes. Suddenly there's surplus. Suddenly investing becomes possible. Suddenly you feel you're truly advancing, because you are. Everyone deserves moments of rest, joy, and fun. Leisure is good for the mind, for the body, and even for daily motivation. But there's a fine line between enjoying life and putting your financial freedom at risk. When leisure exceeds your budget limit, it stops being pleasure and transforms into weight. Expensive trips made without planning, restaurants that cost more than you can pay, frequent outings that max out the card. All of this feels good at the moment, but leaves a big impact afterward. And here's the most motivating part. You don't need to live without leisure to get rich. You just need to choose wisely. The problem was never having fun. The problem is having fun at the expense of your future. When you start to adjust your leisure to what fits in your pocket, something powerful happens. You discover new ways to enjoy life that cost less and are worth more. You start to feel proud of your choices, and you realize that each decision is bringing you closer to the life you really want to have. Remember, you're not saving to suffer, you're saving to conquer. And each small adjustment in today's leisure opens space for much greater freedom tomorrow. Consumer debts are like small chains you put on your own feet without realizing. They start with that installment purchase that seemed harmless, that card used just this once, that irresistible promotion you didn't even plan to take advantage of. Everything seems simple in the moment, but over time, these choices accumulate and create enormous weight on your financial life. The problem is that you go into debt to acquire things that lose value almost immediately. Electronics that soon become outdated, clothes you barely wear, objects that seem important at the time, but add nothing to your future. While the product ages, the debt remains firm, charging interest and taking space from your budget. It's like trying to walk forward while a rope pulls you backward. You advance one step, but debt pulls you 2 steps back. And this cycle repeats until you realize it's not your salary that's small. It's the amount of money being drained to pay for something that no longer even has relevance in your life. But the good news is clear and motivating. You can change this. And it starts with a simple decision. Stop trading your future for momentary desires. Each time you avoid an unnecessary installment purchase, you recover a piece of your freedom. Each time you choose to wait, think, and plan, you say yes to more control over your life. And when you start to pay off these debts, everything changes. Your mind becomes lighter, stress decreases, and you feel you're finally regaining control of what is yours. The money that used to go to interest starts to be left over, and this surplus becomes opportunity. Opportunity to invest, grow, advance. Consumer debts block your path. Eliminating and avoiding these debts opens space for you to run. And running toward financial freedom is, without doubt, one of the greatest achievements you can reach. Many people believe the problem is in the salary, in the bills, or even in the country's economy. But many times, the real weak point is in the absence of a plan. When you live putting out fires, paying what appears, making impulse purchases and making financial decisions only in the moment, you end up spending much more than you should, and without noticing. Lack of planning is like driving at night without headlights. You even try to advance, but you can't see where you're going. And by not seeing the path, you miss opportunities, fall into traps, and end up making decisions that could be avoided with a simple map. When you create a plan, even a simple one, everything changes. You get to know exactly how much comes in, how much goes out, and how much you can save. You start to predict expenses, prepare for unexpected events, and make calmer decisions. And mainly, you stop being carried by the moment and start conducting your own financial life. It's not about making complicated spreadsheets or noting every cent. It's about having clarity. It's looking at the month and understanding where you can adjust, where you need to improve, and where you should put focus. This clarity brings power. And this power opens the way for growth, for investments, and for the future you want to build. Planning doesn't limit your freedom, it expands it. Because when you know where you're going, the path becomes lighter, more organized, and much more achievable. Life is full of surprises, some good, others not so much. And when you don't have an emergency reserve, any unexpected event, no matter how small, can become a huge problem. A tire that goes flat, an unexpected bill, a medical expense, an urgent maintenance. All of this weighs much more when you have nothing saved. It's like walking on fragile ground. With each step, you feel you might sink. And this feeling creates anxiety, fear, and an insecurity that accompanies you all the time. But when you start to build a reserve, even with little, everything changes. You start to live with more tranquility because you know you're protected. You breathe better, sleep better, and make financial decisions with more confidence. And mainly, you stop depending on cards, overdraft, or loans, which only distance you even more from financial freedom. The emergency reserve is like a safety net. It doesn't prevent you from walking, but guarantees that if you slip, you won't fall so deep. It's one of the most important steps for anyone who wants to build wealth, because it frees you from the need to solve everything in a hurry and with interest. And the best part is, it doesn't matter the amount you start with. What matters is starting. Saved today are already better than zero. The habit matters more than the size, and this habit, when strengthened, transforms into stability, security, and open doors for you to invest with more courage. There comes a time in the journey of anyone seeking financial freedom when money stops being just numbers and starts being character, posture, mindset. And this is where something rare is born: financial indestructibility. This is not a state where you are rich. It's a state where you no longer go back to square one, because your mind has already learned to create, protect, and multiply opportunities even when everything around shakes. Being financially indestructible is understanding that crises come and go, but you remain. Obstacles appear, but you adapt. Unexpected situations arise, but you react with intelligence, not with despair. When you assume this posture, your life changes at a continuous, almost silent pace. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, nor compete in appearance, nor seek approval. You focus on what matters: growth, consistency, and real construction. And the more you develop this inner strength, the more your results begin to appear externally. It's not magic, it's discipline. It's not luck, it's mindset. It's not chance, it's decision. Start small, but start with firmness. Each day you improve 1%, you become someone the world can't bring down. Because true wealth is not in what you have, it's in what you become. If you enjoyed this content and want to continue receiving videos that inspire you to grow, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This helps immensely and ensures you receive all the next videos before everyone else.